Research is innovation.
Għar mill-li taqġa pur ma sax.
Għandek raġun.
Lan għafil kuljena nġudru.
Smajna xejn fuq daw, is-senat, jaw, kanx flus għandu, xejn. Soltu kun ġablu.
Soltu mela ġuni kun għad. Għalli ġubun għadna pieċi.
Għanna nomajna għandil-ħat, mux xejn għawet, disku baxi.
Baxi għafassa. Għax ma jridix. Fejki.
Dej kamu. giù. Oh, dopo questo pranzo. Ah, dopo. Vabbè. Io sono Gabriele. Dici proprio questo Liftu li toqtol il-xaħħad ġej l-ura l-qoddim ma tagħmel li trid. X'għandna, rajt? Ma l-astana waħda. Darba li ma tiklax fuq il-bejt. ġabilna xampanja. Aperol sprit.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Minister for Education and Sport, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, President of Council, Rector, Rector-elect, members of Council and Senate, members of the academic body, members of the administrative staff, students, distinguished guests. Welcome to this solemn ceremony marking the formal handover of the office of Rector of the University of Malta. Ser ngħid issa kelmtejn bil-lingwa Maltija tant għażiża għalina. It-tranzizzjoni tar-rettorat mhijiex sempliċement proċess amministrattiv, imma loti ta' torċa li żżomm mixawla l-fjamma tal-għarfien, kif ukoll dik ta' riċerka l-pajjiżna u lil minnu. F'okkażjoni bħal din normalment nagħtu importanza lil tliet aspetti ewlenin. L-ewwel aspett, il-ġieħ lil-legat distint. Nirriflettu fuq id-dedikazzjoni, ix-xogħol siewi u l-viżjoni tar-rettur li qed itemm il-mandat tiegħu. It-tmexxija tiegħu f'perjodi ta' tkabbir u tibdil soċjali ħallit marka li ma tmut qatt fuq il-kampus, fuq il-fakultajiet u fuq l-eluf ta' studenti li għaddew minn din l-istituzzjoni matul is-snin. It-tieni aspett, il-merħba lill-viżjoni l-ġdida. Inħarsu issa lejn il-futur billi l-kol nagħtu merħba lir-rettur il-ġdid li se jkun qed imexxi l-Università ta' Malta minn issa l-qudiem. Ma' tmexxija ġdida jiġi impenn imġedded lejn l-innovazzjoni, ir-riċerka sewja, it-tagħlim u l-ħarsien ta' istituzzjoni li tagħha jmorru lura sal-1592. It-tielet aspett, it-tisħiħ tal-missjoni tal-istituzzjoni. Fuq kollox din iċ-ċerimonja tkompli ssaħħaħ ir-rwol imprezzabbli tal-Università ta' Malta bħala xempju tal-libertà intellettwali, progress soċjali u identità nazzjonali. In view of our international audience, I will now speak in English for the remainder of this address. This is truly a memorable day for this university. Today we gather to witness an important landmark in the long history of our institution, one that honors distinguished service while embracing new leadership. It is indeed an occasion that reflects the continuity, stability, and enduring mission of the university as it passes from one generation of leadership to the next. We begin by honoring Professor Alfred Vella. Since 2016, Professor Vella has steered this university with a rare combination of wisdom, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to academic integrity. He has not merely managed our institution, but he has left an indelible mark upon its ever-growing research portfolio, the university's position in worldwide rankings, the impressive progressive increase in doctoral and graduates that reached record amounts. Professor Vella also fostered a silent revolution in university admissions, which opened new possibilities for many to study at tertiary level. For all this, we owe him our profoundest thanks. At the same time, we look forward with confidence as we welcome Professor Frank Bezzina. He was unanimously elected by Council on 26 March 2026 as the 82nd Rector of the University of Malta. In presenting his vision entitled Knowledge for the Common Good, Professor Bezzina articulated a future in which the university continues to excel in teaching and research, while strengthening its contribution to the social, cultural, and economic development of our country. Today's ceremony is therefore more than a formal transfer of office. It is a reaffirmation of the values that define this university: a commitment to knowledge, academic excellence, intellectual freedom, and service to society. It is also an opportunity to recognize the responsibilities entrusted to those who lead this institution and the community of scholars, staff, and students whose efforts give life to its mission. On behalf of the university community, I welcome you and thank you for joining us at this significant congregation. Before we proceed with the ceremony, I would like to convey a message from the Chancellor, who is unfortunately unable to be present today due to judicial duties in Germany. As you gather for the installation of the new rector, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to Rector Professor Vella for his dedicated service, wise leadership, and steadfast commitment to the university. I also extend my warmest congratulations to Rector-elect Professor Frank Bezzina. His distinguished academic record, exceptional intellect, integrity, vision, and outstanding personal and professional qualities make him eminently suited to lead our university into its next chapter. I am confident that under his leadership, the University of Malta will continue to flourish and strengthen its reputation for academic excellence, innovation, and service to society. I wish Professor Bezzina every success in this important role. I now invite the Dean of the Faculty of Theology, Reverend Professor Stefan Attard, to address us on behalf of the academic body. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister for Education and Sport, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Pro-Chancellor, Rector, Rector-elect, members of Council and Senate, members of the academic body, colleagues, and distinguished guests. It is my distinct honor to deliver this speech on behalf of the College of Deans and the academic body in honor of the university's outgoing rector, Professor Alfred Vella, and the new incumbent, Professor Frank Bezzina. People from every country, culture, and age have always shown great esteem towards the leaders of their communities. Today's ceremony is not merely the dignified end of one rectorship and the hope-imbued beginning of another one. It does not so much mark the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one as it focuses on the continuity of the institution to which we belong, our beloved University of Malta, the preeminent national center of learning with an impressive reputation both locally and internationally. Today, we celebrate both continuity and novelty as we move from achievement to aspiration, honoring all that has been accomplished under the able leadership of Professor Vella, while looking with confidence to the new heights to which Professor Bezzina will lead us. In his letter to the Romans, St. Paul avers, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those authorities that exist have been instituted by God. Leadership roles fall under his sovereign power. Hence, we are urged to pray for all those in authority." The gravity of a rector's role can hardly be overstated. The burden laid on their shoulders is proportionate to the stature of the institutions they lead. And because the University of Malta is highly respected, its rectors are rightly held in high esteem. Professor Vella, there are several luminous trails that constitute incontrovertible evidence of the hard work you have put into the University of Malta. You will be warmly remembered for all the structures you have established and the many initiatives you have set in motion. These will continue to benefit our institution for years and decades to come. You are indeed a vir probatus, a man who has been tested and found worthy in terms of your competence and moral character. Your contribution to the university did not begin with the rectorship, as you have served in several other important roles. During your tenure as rector, the university introduced several robust structures and systems that consolidated its operations and strengthened its mission. To mention but a few, you carried forward the noble task undertaken by your immediate predecessor, Professor Juanito Camilleri, to bring the Valletta campus back to life, greatly supporting its development and embellishment. We joined the European University of the Seas, becoming a very active partner of this alliance. The doctoral school and the Office for Professional Academic Development were set up. Various policies were established. The university prioritized a formal strategic plan, sustainability initiatives, and frameworks for equity, diversity, and inclusion. You were a catalyst for change, and your tenure was marked by sympathetic explosions of insight and creativity. You have also had to smother the flames of a pandemic, ensuring that teaching and learning were not disrupted. To this end, you rose to the occasion and mobilized the university community to quickly adopt technological tools and utilize them to their full potential. Additionally, you worked hard to make the university more financially viable by curbing unnecessary expenditure. Most importantly, you genuinely have a listening ear and a pastoral approach, always placing students' welfare at the center of your endeavors. Fair and balanced in your dealings with others, you have often borne hardships silently and patiently. We as deans are truly appreciative of the esteem and respect you have always shown us. The chemistry between us was good indeed. For all this, we are profoundly grateful. Professor Vella, your rectorship has been as fruitful as the fields we cultivate when the rain is plentiful, and as colorful as Gigifoku in full display. And when the dust has settled, may you find serenity in everything you do. One of your predecessors, Professor Peter Serracino Anglot, once stated that the most satisfying experience of his life was that of caring for his mother. We trust you will discover many other joys in your own life as you get your well-deserved rest from this laborious role. Your own journey of growth and discovery does not end here. The sapiential book of Sirach says, "If you pursue virtue, you will attain it and put it on like a festal gown." You have robed so many graduates. Continue to wear your own robe of virtue, of wisdom, and of moral strength. Professor Vella, you will be succeeded by Professor Bezzina. Given your deep connection with chemistry, you may have preferred his name to be Professor Benzina. But fear not, we all know that he has that spark in him and the ability to continue fanning into flame the passion for learning and for excellence that have characterized our alma mater since her inception in the 16th century. In the first part of this speech, I was very honest, and now I will be very frank. Professor Bezzina, you are no newcomer to leadership roles, both in academia and in society at large. You were head of department, deputy dean, dean, pro-rector, UM ambassador of Commonwealth Universities, and chairperson of a university institute. You occupied important roles at the Central Bank of Malta and WasteServe Malta Limited, and were acting president of the Republic of Malta up until recently. Your coordination of quality assurance and internationalization at the university augurs well for the prestigious position you are taking up today. When it comes to quality, you accept no compromise. As for professionalism, you expect the highest standards. It is clear from your track record that you will hit the ground running. The motto you chose for your presentation to Council last March was "Knowledge for the Common Good." 2 months later, Pope Leo XIV focused on this theme in his first encyclical letter, Magnifica Humanitas, on safeguarding the human person in the time of artificial intelligence. He stated the following: teaching new generations that technological evolution does not follow a predetermined path, but can be guided by personal and collective responsibility, constitutes one of the most valuable services to the common good. Professor, if you keep preempting the Pope, he might ask you to write his next encyclical letter, so be careful. Though statistics is one of your areas of expertise, you know that the world is not just numbers and metrics. These are realities of extreme worth and are not there are realities of extreme worth that are not quantifiable. Hence, give due attention to those values that will never appear on academic institutions' ranking lists, despite their importance, but that make our alma mater evermore a true home, a community of people who value each other's growth and well-being, while striving to continue to make our university an excellent academic institution. May you work to make it a laboratory of peace, a place where we not only focus on our expertise, but also grow in fraternity and sorority and in true solidarity, fully aware of our need for each other. A university should not be a factory of technocrats, but a school of humanity and of mutual care. The physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer famously said, "We are not only scientists, we are men too. We cannot forget our dependence on our fellow men, our deep moral dependence, and that the value of science must lie in the world of men, that all our roots lie there. These are the strongest bonds in the world." Close quote. Excuse me. Along the same lines, the renowned architect of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, Antoni Gaudí, stated, "Primer l'amor, després la tecnica." First comes love, then technique. Professor Bezzina, you are keenly aware of the primacy of human dignity and the centrality of the human person. In your robust vision presented to Council, you asserted that each improvement strengthens not only our university, but also the lives it touches. Magnifica Humanitas encourages us to be, open quote, men and women prepared to enter the construction sites of history, research laboratories, technology companies, schools, etc., in order to rebuild what has collapsed and protect what is threatened, so that even when a technocratic mentality or partisan interests seem to prevail, the human city may become a more fitting place to live, close quote. A university plays an important role in all this because to be complete, it must study the whole gamut of human reality, from the sophistications of the human body to the complexities of the human mind, from the behavior of molecules to our search for meaning and our hunger for God. Professor Bezzina, you have stated that you want to lead the University of Malta as a strategic national institution, one that does not merely respond to change, but actively shapes Malta's future. Like the great King Solomon, ask the Lord for wisdom and a discerning heart to govern his people and to distinguish between right and wrong. And in the spirit of those learned Jesuits who built this edifice, laying the foundations of our alma mater, may everything you do for the advancement of knowledge, the strengthening of collegiality, the well-being of all at our university, and the service offered to society be ad maiorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. In conclusion, Professor, you love walking in the countryside and by the sea. These coming years will not be exactly a walk in the park, but you can rest assured that in the College of Deans, you will find sincere colleagues who are truly willing to stand alongside you and your pro-rectors, and who will fully support you in the distinguished and prestigious office being entrusted to you today. I am convinced that the entire university community shares the same sentiments and the same resolve. Thank you, auguri, and God bless you.
I now invite Mr. Nick Muscat, President of the Consil Studenti Universitari, to address us on behalf of the student body.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Minister for Education and Sport, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Pro-Chancellor, Rector, Rector-elect, Members of Council and Senate, Members of the academic body, colleagues, distinguished guests. Good morning. It is an honor to address you today on behalf of the students of the University of Malta on this important occasion in the life of our university. A handover ceremony is not simply a formal transition from one rector to another. It is a moment of reflection, gratitude, and renewed responsibility. It invites us to look back at the journey traveled, to recognize the work carried out by those who have served this institution, and to look forward to the future with hope, courage, and a clear sense of purpose. Today we mark the conclusion of Professor Alfred Vella's tenure as Rector of the University of Malta and the beginning of Professor Frank Bezzina's leadership. For the university community, and especially for our students, this is a moment that carries real meaning. The Rector is not only the head of an institution, but the Rector represents the direction, the values, and the spirit of the university. The decisions taken at this level shape the daily experience of thousands of students, how we learn, how we participate, how we are supported, and how we feel that we belong. Professor Vella, on behalf of the student body, allow me to express our sincere gratitude. Your years as Rector have coincided with a period of significant change for higher education, for the university, and for society as a whole. These were not always easy years. The university had to navigate the challenges of a rapidly changing world, including the effects of a pandemic, the shift towards new ways of teaching and learning, the growing pressure on infrastructure, the evolving needs of students, and the increasingly important role of the university in national life. Throughout these years, students witnessed a university that continued to move forward. We saw efforts to modernize, to strengthen academic life, and to maintain standards, which continued to develop the University of Malta as a leading center of knowledge, research, and public service. From a student perspective, leadership is not measured only by large institutional milestones, but also by the everyday realities that students experience. It is seen in whether students feel heard. It is seen in whether student organizations are allowed to grow. It is seen in whether dialogue between students and university authorities remains open, even when discussions are difficult. It is seen in the willingness to recognize that students are not simply users of a service, but active members of the academic community. For that, Professor Vella, we thank you. We thank you for the work carried out during your tenure, for your service to the university, and for the role you have played in guiding this institution through years of development and transition. We also thank you for recognizing, in different ways, the importance of student representation within university life. We know that progress is built through continuity, dialogue, and the willingness to improve. We know that the work of a rector is often complex, sometimes difficult, and not always visible to those outside the structures of governance. But its impact is deeply felt, and we acknowledge that service with respect and gratitude. Professor Bezzina, as you begin your term as Rector, I also wish to extend on behalf of the student body our sincere congratulations. You assume this role at a time of great opportunity, but also at a time when students are facing real and pressing challenges. The University of Malta stands at an important crossroads, where it must continue to protect academic excellence, whilst also responding to the changing realities of student life. It must remain a place of knowledge, but also a place of inclusion. Must prepare students for the world of work, but also help them become active citizens, critical thinkers, and responsible members of society. The coming years must be years of renewed engagement, where students today are not asking for a university that simply provides lectures, exams, and degrees. They are asking for a university that sees them as people. People with ambitions, pressures, financial difficulties, mental health concerns, family responsibilities, work commitments, and diverse backgrounds. A university that understands that education does not take place only in lecture halls, but also in the spaces where students meet, organize, debate, volunteer, and grow. We believe that the student experience must remain at the center of the university's vision. This means continuing to invest in academic quality, but also in accessibility. It means that ensuring that workloads are realistic and fair. Make sure that student feedback is not only collected, but acted upon. It means supporting students who are struggling, whether academically, financially, or personally. It means recognizing the contribution of students and their organizations, which are often the first place where young people learn leadership, responsibility, teamwork, and service. This also means strengthening the relationship between the university and its students, not in just a symbolic way, but in a real and practical way. It should not be seen as a formality, but student representation should be seen as an essential part of good governance. When students are included early, decisions become stronger. When students are listened to, trust grows. When students are treated as partners, the university becomes more responsive, more human, and more united. Professor Bezzina, I believe that your leadership opens an important opportunity to deepen that partnership. As student representatives, we do not expect to agree on everything. In fact, a healthy university should allow space for disagreement, debate, and constructive challenge. But we do hope for a relationship built on openness, respect, and shared purpose. The University of Malta has always played a role far beyond its campus. It forms the professionals, educators, researchers, public servants, artists, lawyers, doctors, engineers, scientists, and leaders of the future. But more than that, it forms citizens. It teaches people how to think, how to question, how to serve. We live in a time where society is becoming more complex, where public debate is often polarized, where technology is changing how we live and how we think, and where young people are being asked to face uncertain futures. The university must remain a place of truth, critical thought, and democratic values. It must be a place where knowledge is pursued with seriousness, but also with humility. It must be a place where students are encouraged not only to succeed individually, but to contribute collectively. We want a university that is ambitious, a university that invests in research and innovation, a university that strengthens its international presence, a university that supports sustainability, inclusion, social responsibility, and a university that is proud of its traditions but not afraid to change. Above all, we want a university that remains close to its students, because at the heart of this institution are the students who walk through its corridors every day. Students who attend lectures, prepare for exams, carry out research, represent their peers, take part in sports and culture, volunteer, work, struggle, succeed, and keep going. Their experience must always matter. Today's ceremony reminds us that leadership in education is never only about administration, it is about stewardship. Each rector receives the university from those who came before, guides it for a time, and then passes it on. What matters is not only what is preserved, but is what is improved for the next generation. Professor Vella, thank you for your service and dedication to the University of Malta. Professor Bezzina, we wish you every success as you begin this new chapter. May your tenure be marked by openness, courage, dialogue, and a deep commitment to the student experience. Let this moment, therefore, be not only a handover, but a renewed commitment by all of us, students, academics, administrators, alumni, and national leaders, to continue building a university that serves knowledge, serves society, and serves every student who forms part of it. Thank you.
I now invite the Rector, Professor Alfred Vella, to address us.
Eccellenza tagħha, Sinjura President, Onorevoli Prim Ministru, Speaker, Ministru tal-Edukazzjoni, Leader tal-Oppożizzjoni, mistednin distinti kollegi u ħbieb ta' omna l-Università illi mantnietna. Grazzi tal-li ġejtu dal-għodu f'disħana f'dan l-ispazju sagru fil-Knisja tal-Università sabiex niċċelebraw passaġġ importanti fil-ħajja ta' din l-om kulturali tant importanti għal din l-art ħelwa li tgħixna. Dejjem ħassejt il-bżonn, anzi l-ossessjoni illi nibda bil-sinna kull diskors ewlieni tiegħi bħala rettur. Jinkonxju tal-fatt trement illi ebda rettur ieħor fid-dinja minn aktar minn madwar 30,000 kapijiet ta' istituzzjonijiet illi jeżistu mu kapaċi jagħmel dil-ħaġa li jitkellem bil-Malti. Ara xi privileġġ ingawdu. Fuq dan it-territorju ċkejken imma sofistikat u sinjur illi għandna università illi forma jew oħra ilha teżisti kważi nofs millenju. Dan il-bini minn kemm ilu wieqaf ftit iktar minn 430 sena, dejjem serva bħala il-post minn fejn nisfornaw il-gradwati tal-Università. Illum b'aktar minn 3600 fis-sena. Immaġinawx ftit x'konna nkunu nistgħu nagħmlu, jew aħjar ma nagħmlux. Mingħajr dawn in-nies qabbli u kapaċi f'dinja aċċana għal ħiliet speċjalistiċi illi jsawru il-ħajja fiżika virtwali u anki dik ta' bejniethom. Dan il-bini sagru u parti importanti minn din il-binja spettakolari u majestuża bejn Triq Merkanti u Triq San Pawl, illi l-kavallieri tal-ordni kienu bnew sabiex l-Università tkun tista' tagħmel xogħla sewwa. Għadni nitlob l-Alla u nistenna li l-kampus tal-Belt Valletta jiġi lura formalment għand l-Università kif weduna li se jagħmlu l-Odjern Gran Mastru u l-kavallieri tiegħu. U ta' dan nirringrazzjahom bil-qudiem. Inkompli bil-lingwa l-oħra tagħna għaliex nibqgħu relevanti bħala università internazzjonali jekk nikkomunikaw bil-lingwa franka globali tal-akkademja. What a personal journey this has been. My first official work at the Junior College of the Royal University of Malta was probably Friday, 1st October 1971. My last day as rector of this great, if no longer Royal University of ours, is today, Monday, June 30th, 26. Who knows when my last day working in education will be? It might possibly be the one which our dear Archbishop Charles references repeatedly as that day for which he is prepared but in no hurry to see arrive. This morning, you probably expect me to outline and unashamedly boast about the advances and improvements which l-Università ta' Malta made during my 10-year leadership. I won't disappoint you. However, I will also dutifully mention some disappointments too. which I shall call my unfinished symphonies. Obviously, these latter are gentle nudges intended for Professor Frank Bezzina, our next rector. Boasting about things is most effective and probably best appreciated when you can actually point to visible landmarks. In our case, the most evident ones would be the Sustainable Living Complex, towering over Triq Carmen Msida. This massive 4-block building shall house several faculties and institutes. When fully completed, hopefully very shortly, this construction will change the face of our campus and widen considerably the scope of our research. The SLC, as we call it, will house research infrastructure that Malta has never had before on this scale or quality. This includes test beds to study built stock stability against earthquakes, a huge water and wave tank for modeling objects in the marine environment. Experiments, by the way, that cannot be performed in the open sea. And a massive wind tunnel and flight simulator to enable breakthrough research into aerospace engineering. We have completed and are happily already using the impressive engineering, research and innovation laboratories. And the unfortunately largely invisible, because it is below ground, metallurgy and material science labs. I am immensely proud of the Dental Teaching Clinic, a state-of-the-art facility we set up in Marsalforn, Gozo, a few years ago. It beautifully serves the training needs of our dental students and provides essential patient care for the community living on our sister island. Very visible indeed is the campus hub, which was designed, built and managed by a private contractor on our land. Even if this huge structure has its critics and some detractors, it cannot be denied that its presence has made campus life vastly more attractive. It helps our staff, our local students, and especially our international students, better balance their work-life experience. And by the way, the same can be said for the hundreds of employees of neighboring Mater Dei Hospital. I have to confess that despite not being visible to the eye, the other advances we've made at give me equal, if not greater, joy and satisfaction as a rector. We have markedly improved the quality of service the university provides toward education, research, and outreach. The World University Rankings testify to this. From our original position in 2016, we climbed up about 450 steps to stand at position 696 today, according to the QS rankings, placing us firmly in the top 3% of world universities. In certain subject areas, we rank even higher. The Times rankings place us in the band 400 to 500 in education, 300 to 400 in business and economics. In Europe, where there are approximately 3,000 higher education institutions, is now ranked in position 291. These are outstanding results that should make anyone living in this country proud to have such a world-class university to call our own. But I don't really need university rankings to know that in 2026, is in the best place it has ever been during its multi-centenarian history. We reached or exceeded all quality standards set by nationally appointed external auditors when we were last tested 3 years ago. We have managed to turn what used to be an admitting university into a recruiting university, but without once compromising our demanding academic standards. Let me be clear on this. Malta cannot afford to have a higher education system that permits so-called degrees and diplomas to be awarded, which in reality require minimal commitment by students. At UM, we shall continue to stretch our students, but not on a medieval racks. Rather, we prod and push with humane, dignified respect and due regard to fairness and a diligent duty of care. As families of students with special needs well know, we have made our education provision far more equitable and inclusive, ensuring disabled students and those with specific learning difficulties are genuinely supported to succeed. The course in English communication skills that I introduced early on remains, to my mind, a pinnacle achievement. Weaved into all undergraduate programs, it helps students transition into the rhetorical demands and writing skills of their chosen field. Experienced tutors help our students bridge local cultural thought processes with English academic standards, enabling them to generate understandable, precise, and lucid statements. Sometimes people know things but cannot express them fluently. This program bridges that gap. Flowing, concise, and pithy articulation is the greatest hallmark of a good university education. Another achievement is the extensive digitalization of our administrative processes. We're now supplementing teaching and assessment with online resources to improve learning quality, without, however, depriving students of the incredibly important in-person learning that must remain the apex university experience. Only by being physically present on campus can students meet, interact, argue, and grow together. This is why the next leadership team must continue to improve the look and feel of the campus environment by enriching it with amenities found in world-class universities, some of which sadly Tal currently lacks. We have almost doubled our international student population, so that today 1 in every 4 students comes from a foreign country, 1 in 4. This presence vastly improves the total campus experience for our home students and also brings in critically needed funds. Toward this end, we have focused our efforts across the Marketing and Communication Directorate, the Office of the Registrar, our International Foundation School, and the heroic work of our International Office, who continuously fight for student visas and resolve accommodation issues. Furthermore, our expanded health and well-being services play a special role in supporting these international young men and women who are living far from their family networks. Thanks to these efforts, last year we could have increased our non-state derived income from student fees by another €9 million. Regrettably, 2 million of these were never collected, due to the cavalier action of some ministry apparatchik who offhandedly decided to waive student fees for reasons we find hard to understand. This practice has to change. We need to be allowed to charge and collect fees, modest fees, to be sure, similarly to what other universities elsewhere do, uninhibitedly. Let me step back from complaining on this day of celebration to highlight a keystone objective that was on my mind long before I took the job, namely that of ensuring that everyone who teaches at the university is professionally prepared for the mission. In agreement with the Academics Staff Union, we introduced a 4-year tenure track process to guide new recruits in teaching and mentoring students properly. Firmly believing that UM is home to gifted professors ready to inspire their peers, we set up the Office for Professional Academic Development, OPAD. Today, OPAD is a shining success story thanks to a small, dedicated band of academics sharing their love for teaching. A university cannot truly thrive without a robust research mission. Success here can readily be expressed in numbers that are, to me, even more exquisite than beauties in bricks and concrete. From 282 doctoral students in 2016, we now have 460. The number of doctoral degrees awarded annually has more than doubled to reach 81. Publications increased by over 30% to 1,088 in 2026, 60% of which in open access. Research support staff grew from 122 to 516, including 96 at postdoc level. Our research spend, including externally won funds, stands at over 20 million, up from 8 million in 2016. Our robust 58-person administrative team was managing a total of 438 externally funded projects, representing almost 70 million in 24-25, a stunning 28% increase from the previous year. UM is performing exceptionally well and punching hard in research. Spin-off companies continue to form, with equity in some already worth multiple millions of euros. The Corporate Research and Knowledge Transfer Office is kept very busy, proving that UM is transformed in the mold of the best of breed in Europe. In 2017, we established our doctoral school, basing its activities on the Strasbourg principles, an achievement of which I am immensely proud. Though operating from tiny quarters, the doctoral school has already trained hundreds of doctoral students and serves as a role model for our partners within the CEU, European University Alliance. I hope it will soon be afforded the larger dedicated physical space it deserves in the SLC, I hope. And then there are the unfinished symphonies, which I would have loved dearly to see completed, but it was not to be. First is the Sports and Performing Arts Center, a project conceived back in 2017, but delayed due to lack of funds. I'm extremely confident today that this project will procure the required funding to go forward. It shall have a state-of-the-art sports science facility, performance amenities, and a 1,000-vehicle underground parking structure beneath the track and pitch. Second, a dedicated building for our industrious Faculty of Dental Surgery, to be built where the vacated metallurgy workshop today stands. This will finally, and for the first time in its history, give this highly consequential faculty the physical infrastructure it needs to expand its training and research potential. Other vital works in progress must also see the light of day: the much hoped for reform of the MathSec system, the setting up of an Office for Research Integrity, campus-to-community outreach projects, a 24/7 study space for students, the library extension, and developing the long-lingering construction site next to the old gate. These challenges will no doubt be addressed by my successor, who possesses the skill, the fortitude, and the energy to bring them to fruition. So before I conclude, I need to say a few words about being rector to our incoming leader. Dear Frank, without wanting to sound paternalistic, you will soon discover that the job of rector is one of the toughest. You will be dealing with exceptionally smart academics who have strong opinions on everything and are notoriously rather ungovernable. To stay the course sanely, you will need the proverbial wisdom of Solomon, the patience of Job, and the thick hide of a rhinoceros. Beyond internal challenges, you must also battle external detractors who mock the value of traditional higher education in the age of AI and the internet. The intrinsic value of reading books, listening to professors, and investing in science is being rubbished by powerful populist voices globally. It is a preoccupying time, and I fear for our children and indeed our planet. Hopefully, the dark clouds hovering over university systems in the free world will lift, so that these cathedrals of knowledge can continue to function freely as bulwarks of independent, critical thought. This venerable institution of ours in Malta must be helped and protected to continue to grow even stronger. Good luck with your work, Professor Bezzina. And before I stop, I need to thank my pro-rectors and, of course, the deans, without whose cooperation and collaboration I would not have been able to perform this work. U nispiċċa dan l-aħħar diskors billi nirringrazzja lill-mara tiegħi Evelyn għall-paċenzja tremenda li ħadet matul is-snin, lill-uliedi Daniel u Marija, l-partners tagħhom, li flimkien ma' neputijiet Michela u Mattija jagħtu skop u sens ikbar lil ħajti. U grazzi lilkom ilkoll.
I invite the President of Council, Perit Carmenu Vella, who will now present the declaration of the Council of the University.
To our beloved brother, Professor Frank Bezzina, and to all those whom these letters shall be made known, greetings and prosperity. Whereas our esteemed academic, Professor Alfred Vella, will be completing his term of office as rector of this distinguished University of Studies of Malta on the 30th day of June of the year of the Lord 2026. And whereas at a meeting of Council of this University of Studies, which was convened on the 26th day of March of this year, 2026, an election was held for the appointment of a new rector in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the Republic of Malta. And whereas in the said electoral process, our esteemed academic Professor Frank Bezzina has been deemed worthy and legitimately elected to fulfill the office of Rector in the most diligent manner. Be it therefore known that you, beloved brother Professor Frank Bezzina, are thus being entrusted with the office of the rectorship of this distinguished University of Studies as of the first day of July 2026, and that, to this effect, through our authority, we are investing you with all the rights, duties, honors, and prerogatives pertaining to that office in accordance with the laws of the Republic of Malta and the hallowed traditions of this University of Studies. In testimony whereof we attach our signature, given at our university buildings in the city of Valletta in Malta, under the seal of our University of Studies, today, the 30th day of June of the year of the Lord 2026. Thank you.
Jiena, Frank Bezzina, solennement inwiet li naqdi fedelment u mill-aħjar li nista' id-dmirijiet tiegħi ta' rettur ta' din l-Università ta' Malta, skont il-liġijiet tar-Repubblika ta' Malta u l-istatuti ta' din l-Università, u li nħares u nippromuovi t-tradizzjoni akkademika, il-prerogattivi u l-patrimonju ta' din l-Università u l-fakultajiet tagħha. Hekk Alla jgħinni. Your Excellency, President of Malta, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Speaker, President of Council, Leader of the Opposition, Minister for Education, esteemed colleagues, dear students, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound sense of respect and gratitude that I stand before you as the newly installed Rector of the University of Malta. It is a rare honor to be elected to the rectorship of one's own alma mater, and it is for me humbling yet inspirational to be entrusted with the leadership of our university. The rich tapestry of history of the University of Malta has been woven over centuries, and along the years, our institution has shaped and significantly enriched the intellectual and cultural life of our nation. The edifice that surrounds us is in itself an integral part of the genesis of our university, and it is proper to have this landmark ceremony unfolding here. This is our first major academic congregation at this hallowed place since its restoration, and even though work is still in progress, its elegance and proportion shine through. It is a privilege to be able to thank my predecessor, Professor Alfred Vella. It has been a pleasure working alongside him as Prorector for the past 5 years. Alfred has done much for this university during his brilliant trajectory from junior alumnus in the early 1970s to Rector over the past 10 years. I am sure that his legacy will endure not only in what that is material, but also in the hearts of all of us. Being elected Rector fills me not only with an awareness of my responsibilities, but also with a deep sense of possibilities, determination, and hope. The university has increasingly become much more than a place of study. It is a forum where ideas take shape, where they get tested, and when they take flight. It is a crucible for scholarly argument, and a place where intellectual autonomy is uncompromising. Our university is a place where curious individuals are transformed into agents of change. It is not only an institution of international standing and dimension, but also a place where Malta's future is imagined, questioned, and built. As I begin my tenure, I am guided by a simple yet powerful belief. Education is a key transformative force in any society. It empowers individuals, it strengthens communities, and it illuminates the path towards a more compassionate, just, and sustainable world. The University of Malta has a duty to continue to be not only a beacon of that transformation, but also a leader and an innovator. We all have a useful role in that transformation, and our strength lies in our people, the dedicated academics and vigilant administrators, and the students that give energy and color to our mission. Our roles are of necessity different, yet together our functions are complementary in forming a richer and more powerful whole. We come from many different disciplines, each shaped by its own traditions, methods, and ways of understanding the world. Yet all our fields of study share one important characteristic. They are constantly evolving as knowledge advances and new challenges emerge. Our training, experience, and expertise may differ, but we are united by a common commitment to inquiry, learning, and the pursuit of understanding. While experiment, change, and innovation are expected, there are values in our profession, work, and ethos that must remain constant. Across disciplines, our work should be directed towards the betterment of humanity and the advancement of an equitable society, whose hallmarks are integrity, care, and kindness. The academic work of our scholars and researchers expands the boundaries of human understanding and contributes meaningfully to Malta and the wider world. You continually challenge assumptions, explore novel fields of inquiry, and your teaching inspires generations. As Rector, I pledge support for your pursuits of excellence, to encourage cross-disciplinary integration, and to foster conditions that allow creativity and innovation to flourish. The work of our university's administrative and technical staff is crucial, and their dedication not only underpins the day-to-day functions of our institution, but also sustains its rhythm. You are the quiet force behind every teaching program, every project, and indeed every achievement. I am committed to ensuring that your loyalty and contribution to our institution are recognized, valued, and strengthened. As for all our students, you are both the heartbeat and the breath of our university. Our students are in fact this institution's raison d'être. We are very much aware that you do not only carry with you your plans for the future, but also the hopes of your loved ones and the aspirations of your communities. I encourage you to be bold in your ambitions, fearless in your curiosity, and steadfast in your integrity. The world you inherit is a complex one, but you are capable of shaping it with wisdom, courage, and persistence. You have much to look forward to as you take up your roles as active and responsible citizens. As we look ahead, let's do so with confidence. We are all acutely aware of the challenges that we face, both as a university and the level of communities at large. We also live in times of frequent technological change, increasing intrusion of social media, as well as widespread global economic and geopolitical upheaval. There are also occasions when we face uncertainty and international blurring of lines between truth and untruth. These are also times when we need to shoulder greater environmental responsibility and respect towards the delicate web of our ecosystems. All this may appear daunting. However, we must not view challenges as obstacles, but as our opportunities. They are opportunities to rethink how we learn, how we teach, how we collaborate at all levels, as well as how we reach out and serve society. What is important oftentimes is not how much we have, but how much we give. Above all, the challenges we face present excellent opportunities for us as individuals and as a university to reaffirm our commitment to academic freedom, to respectful inclusivity, to true diversity, and always to the pursuit of truth. I firmly believe in the potential of our university. It is a firm belief in the talent and industry of our people, the strength of our traditions, and the power of our collective vision and mission. Together, we can continue to foster a university that not only responds to the needs of our time, but anticipates the needs of the future. A university that leads with integrity, innovates with purpose, and inspires with courage. A university that is a composite part of Maltese society, as well as an integral and valued member of the European higher educational community. Finally, I am truly grateful for the trust that has been placed in me, and I ask for your collaboration and support as we work together to shape the future of our university. With unity and a shared sense of purpose, I am sure that we will continue to achieve great things. Nagħlaq id-diskors tiegħi kif jixraq b'kelmtejn bil-Malti. Nirringrazzja minn qalbi lil kull min jinstab hawn f'din il-Knisja tal-Università ta' Malta għal din l-okkażjoni solenni, kif ukoll lil dawk li qegħdin isegwu din iċ-ċerimonja minn fuq il-mezz tax-xandir. Nixtieq nirringrazzja wkoll il-ġenituri tiegħi li kienu dejjem ta' spalla fil-ħajja tiegħi kollha, kif ukoll marti Irina u t-tfal tiegħi. Insellmilkom ilkoll u nixtieqilkom kull ġid u għena. Grazzi.
I now invite Dr. Amy Coleman to recite a poem written by Max Sherman.
Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially, do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy.
On behalf of the University of Malta, I want to thank you for your presence at this ceremony and cordially invite you to a Vendoner at the Valletta campus. Grazie ħafna. Please rise for the national anthem.